Do you guys remember that New York City influencer drama that was going around on TikTok a little while ago? The whole New York City influencers are boring scandal? Well, that girl that posted that video got fired from her job, and it has become a whole conversation once again because obviously people are like, what do you mean she got fired? Like, that's crazy. Some people are feeling like she should lawyer up. Other people are like, I don't know, I can kind of justify it based on what she reveals in the video where she's talking about getting fired. So we're going to break it all down. Now, for a quick refresher, the TikTok user Martini Feeney posted a video last month basically venting that New York City influencers were all kind of giving the same vibe, saying that their content wasn't exciting and just overall was boring.
All right, guys, I'm just going to say it. I hate all of the New York influencers. I think that they're boring as f***, and they're all carbon copies of one another. They all wear the same exact bracelets. They all have the same exact hand chains that someone else influenced them to get. Yeah, they all look like they shop on Revolve. They're all just like basic ass skinny, but they're skinny and pretty, so stuff looks cute on them, but boring. No hate. They just bore the fuck out of me. Does anyone else agree? Like, I feel like they should be the influencees, not the influencers. I don't know. Not even the New York ones, just like all the, like, these girls. They all get panic attacks. They all shop on Revolve. They all like, yeah, boring. Let me know if anyone agrees.
Now, she didn't name any names, but people felt named, like the New York City influencer community was not having it, and a bunch of creators started responding, which some felt like brought even more attention to the situation, and some were like, okay, they're just calling themselves out at this point, or something, since it seemed some of them were taking it very personal, though most were just trying to say that they don't get why she was being so negative. If she doesn't like that content, then just don't watch that content. Your For You page on TikTok is curated to stuff that you watch and interact with. And other people continued off of that, saying that she must just not be engaging with content that she actually likes, and that the true New York City influencers are interesting. She just is choosing to continue to see these girls she's calling boring. But here's the twist. Martini Feeney just revealed that she actually worked for a luxury fashion brand that worked with influencers, and after that video went viral, they fired her.
Do you guys want to know what's crazy? Yeah, I lost my job because of that original video. I worked for the biggest luxury fashion brand in the world, and they were like, that's why I was bored, because they're obsessed with those girls. Like, it's crazy. It's like the only people they work with. But yeah, God forbid you speak your mind to your like 90 followers at the time you get clipped. But yeah, if you guys want to know the whole story and all the details, I'll be happy to share. But yeah, crazy, right? Anyway, stay boring, I guess, because if you're not, or you speak your mind, clipped, done.
Now, after she said this, I did kind of understand why her For You page would probably be showing these people that she doesn't really like, especially if she has to interact or constantly look at these girls' accounts because of her job. And so her For You page might not be catered to things that she actually likes, and thus she's like annoyed by constantly seeing them. But by venting about this online, though, some people were like, girl, I don't know about that, because that would obviously get you in trouble because it's directly aligning with your job, and that company probably doesn't want to be associated with someone who's publicly saying like, I don't like these influencers, especially when they're trying to work with those influencers. Now, she didn't say which brand exactly she worked for, but she described it as a luxury brand that heavily collaborated with creators. So yeah, not exactly the place that you want to be calling influencers boring. And now people online are kind of split about this. There's a lot of opinions going around. Some people are in the comments telling her to lawyer up or something, writing, that sounds like wrongful termination. That's actually wild. Get a lawyer, queen. It's time to get a lawyer and chase that wrongful termination bag. But others agree that if her company was working with New York City influencers, her take would give them a bad rep, and commented, yeah, as an ex-HRBP, I fear the firing was completely valid, and I'd be very surprised if there wasn't something in her employee handbook about it. I mean, if they are your clients, are you really that surprised? Most companies have a social media policy that prohibits making content and sharing hot takes that could harm the company in any way. Keep your socials private. We need to start practicing some discernment while employed, because if your company is obsessed / work with them constantly, why would you publicly post that you dislike them? If your job works with those people and you're publicly bashing them, it makes the company look bad, girly. How is that not obvious? Which, I mean, I get if your job is literally influencer relations, posting that kind of video might not be the best look. Had she worked at a job not associated with influencers, then Like, okay, girl, you're free to share your opinions and post them online unless the company had some sort of like no social media rule or something. But yeah, she could post that. But because she directly worked with them, it's certainly why some are like, okay, I see how this happened.
Who called all New York City influencers boring and got fired from her corporate job because the corporate job worked directly with influencers. And obviously she had disdain for one of their main partners. And to that I say, if you post online, you are making the risk that your company makes it harder for you to be employed. Every single one of us is replaceable. In the United States, we are all at-will employees, and having an opinion online that is conflicting with the general goals of your corporate company only makes it so much harder for them to employ you. This is very similar across all industries. Some just make it more clear than others. For instance, in finance, the biggest banks have very strict rules about what you are and are not allowed to do outside of work. So you are not allowed to volunteer in some instances without getting express permission. You are definitely not allowed to post online and get brand deals without express permission. Big law is very similar, and these are because there's actual credentials and things from like the SEC about conflicts of interest that employees might have if they are getting external income, and banks are very serious about that. But I think the general principle applies that if you post online and you post something that will make it harder for your corporate company to employ you, you're putting yourself at risk.
Under this video, influencer Carly Weinstein replied writing, "Wait, I'm sorry, but why would she do that knowing the company works with influencers? Like, I feel like it's so unprofessional." And Carly originally responded to the original New York City Influencers Are Boring video when it was circulating online.
I really woke up this morning to so many like hateful videos on International Women's Day, and I was so shook by it. I scroll on my For You page these days and I literally see so many grown women so bitter commenting on other women's pages. I don't know if they feel like they're entitled to do that or if they're just jealous, but I think maybe us as a society, we've gotten too comfortable letting our jealousy and our ugly feelings be shown online because we use it as a means of like, if we hate on someone else, maybe I'll get clout, and then therefore other people hop on the bandwagon with me, and then I feel better about myself because we're all hating on this other person. Honestly, this goes back to preschool. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. It's also, I'm not even saying it for my sake, I'm saying it for your sake. Your life is going to be miserable if you use your days and your minutes and your hours and even your seconds to hate on someone else.
And she wasn't the only one. Like I said, there were a ton of other influencers that were responding to the original Martini Feeney video. And now like the drama has kind of taken another turn because some people are starting to blame the influencers who felt personally attacked in the original video or responded to the original video, saying that maybe they allegedly or someone close to them contacted her job and flagged the video, which may have led her to be let go. Obviously, there's no proof of that, and I believe it was probably someone at the company that saw this because of the fact that this video went viral. It had millions of views, and if they are working with influencers, then there's other people at that job that are online and probably saw this, especially if she's talking about the fashion girlies, whatever work account people are using or anyone else that works with her, they probably have similar For You pages. So this was probably going to land, especially if she's in their contacts. You know, if you were on TikTok, that if you were in someone's contacts, you're probably going to end up on their For You page at some point in time as like someone you may know. So there could have been many different ways in which the people that were high up at her company saw this video of her talking down on New York City influencers. But a lot of people are blaming the influencers for trying to contact her job or something. And it's definitely created even more tension online in regards to the whole situation. And while we don't know what actually happened behind the scenes, it's clear that this whole thing has grown way beyond one video about boring content. I mean, this video has just sparked up so many conversations, and a lot of people are speculating that the original video was about this one TikToker acquired style, and now they're blaming her for having contacted the job, even though none of this is confirmed information at all. But there's been so many things that people have been like, I think it's this, I think that, and it's gotten really messy. And Martini Feeney, in her second video that she made after the original New York City Influencers Are Boring video, she was talking about how people thought that she was talking about blonde influencers in New York. She didn't confirm or deny this to be true, but it was clear that she was even seeing all this speculation go around.
I have an opinion doesn't make me a woman hater. Just because I find some people boring whose name I didn't mention doesn't make me mean. Just because I have an opinion doesn't make me mean. Yeah, I don't know who told you guys that that equals being mean, but like having an opinion and an original thought doesn't make me a woman hater. Anyway, my jacket is Old Tommy Hilfiger not revolved. My pants are Viatico that I got on the Real World for $50. My hair is brunette, not blonde, because everyone thinks I was talking about a bunch of blondes.
What a crazy situation, honestly, but the question stands, should someone lose their job for saying influencers are boring? Maybe not, but should someone in influencer marketing be dragging the very people that they're working with? Also, maybe not. It's one of those classic, you can have an opinion, but you also have to deal with the consequences kind of moments, I guess. Especially when your job is all about brand relationships. Anyway, that's the latest in the New York City influencer drama saga, Martini Feeney edition. Let me know what you guys think about the fact that she came out to say that she was fired from her job. Do you think that she was wrongfully fired and should lawyer up? Or do you agree with the other side that she probably shouldn't have spoken on something closely aligned with her job? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.